So, just in, the president signs an executive order to create a sovereign wealth fund. What does that mean and who does it apply to? And this makes more sense about this birthright.
To talk about the president who just signed some new executive orders, including to create a sovereign wealth fund, Megan, with some potential implications for TikTok. Welcome.
Absolutely, Kelly. So a whole bunch of topics that we're going to hit right now. The president is in the Oval Office right now talking to reporters. We have not yet seen the full tape playback, but we're seeing the headlines hit from the wires. So first on the tariffs front, I heard you guys hit these at the top. Trump is saying, according to the wires, that we haven't agreed yet on tariffs with Mexico and that we will have a big negotiation with Mexico. My interpretation of those comments, since we know earlier that they agreed to this 1 month delay, is that he's signaling that over the next 30 days there will be more talks. They haven't yet decided where to go from there. For now, I would assume that that 1 month delay still holds. He also says that he had a good talk with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and we are watching because we know at 3 p.m. today they're expected to speak again. No deal yet with Canada, so a lot to watch coming out of that very consequential phone call later this afternoon. And then on China, they haven't been speaking with China today, but Trump saying now that he'll speak to China over the next 24 hours probably, and that those 10% tariffs are an opening salvo. Those could move higher if they need to see more from China. Then on the sovereign wealth fund front, this was the reason the pool was called into the Oval Office. Trump signed an executive order calling on his Treasury and Commerce departments to take the lead here in setting up a sovereign wealth fund. And Scott Bessent is in the Oval Office as well, telling reporters it should be stood up within 12 months. This was something we heard from Trump about on the campaign trail, saying there was interest in it. President Biden, by the way, was interested in this as well. And on the TikTok front, he said that that sovereign wealth fund could potentially be used to make some sort of a deal with TikTok, potentially using some of that money to purchase half of TikTok, as he's been talking about wanting to find a buyer for that half.
But my question is, why? And if it's a sovereign wealth fund for the country, why decide to buy TikTok like as a whole?
TikTok. And then finally, guys, just a couple of headlines as well about Elon Musk and all of the news that's been going on today with relating to him and USAID and the Treasury Department's payment system. Trump responding to questions here, saying that Musk is doing things only when we give him approval, saying that Musk has access only to letting people go if we need to, and saying we won't let Elon go places where there is a conflict. So more to come there. We'll be parsing this tape playback as we get it, but obviously the president here.
Well, if he said they're not going to let him go anywhere there's a conflict about it, they're just going to make a conflict about everywhere so he can't go anywhere. Duh.